Ain't no way. You're telling me this man got his mouth taped shut? What if he needed to pee? Yo, what up, YouTube? Today we're looking at the craziest courtroom moments of all time. I really don't know what I'm expecting going into this, so let's jump right into it.
This is Alan McCarty, who was arrested and charged after making death threats to a judge. In a child custody case, a judge ruled against McCarty and took away his children. His erratic behavior towards the judge continued into his court appearances.
My daddy owns the building and I look like a f***ing idiot. Huh? Brought your dress today, you little f***ing prick. You gonna take my kids from me?
Oh my gosh.
Like you and that Shut the f*** up. I'm trying to think over here.
This guy just downright disrespected the judge. How you gonna do that and you're fighting for your life? You never know. She might give you 25 to life just because of the way you disrespected her.
McCarty was found guilty for the original threats made to a judge. We now move on to the sentencing.
What a bunch of guys, you stupid piece of
Oh my gosh.
You
Oh my gosh.
suck my
What?
I'm not standing up resisting. I'm not resisting. I'm just not standing up. I'm not standing. I don't have to stand.
McCarty is moved to another room to watch the court through a one-way glass.
Ain't no way this guy was being so rude and belligerent. They gotta move him to another room. If we're talking cream of the crop, worst people at a courtroom, it's probably this guy.
He continues on making a disturbance.
I don't
McCarty was
understand.
sentenced to 20 years in prison. The judge also issued an additional 10-day sentence due to his actions in the courtroom.
For all of this crazy antics that he did, he only got an extra 10 days? This guy seems like a public menace, and only 10 days seems a little light.
This is Daryl Brooks, who is convicted of killing 6 people and injuring dozens of others after he broke his SUV into a Christmas parade.
What?
Waukesha.
How you just gonna go and just drive right through people in the middle of a Christmas party? What goes through your mind to wanna do that?
Reportedly, during his reckless driving, he reached speeds of over 30 miles per
Oh.
hour, and the prosecution argued that his driving rampage was intentional.
He plowed through 68 different people. He kept
68?
going until he got to the end, and there was no more body.
If you would have said like 8, I would have been like, that's fine. 68 people. What is wrong with you, bruh?
To hit. It was intentional.
After Brooks was arrested and
100% that was
Brooks
intentional.
decided to represent himself in court.
If you are allowed to represent yourself in this case, sir, you will not have attorneys assisting you. They're gone.
I'm pretty sure he knows
I
that.
understand that.
I think I will probably be better served representing myself.
Throughout the trial, Brooks was removed.
That's probably
multiple
not a
times
good
for
idea,
constant interruptions
but sure.
and outbursts. It was here that his real personality was shown when he starts to laugh during a witness testimony.
He told Erica that he was gonna find her and he was gonna kill her.
Now, back in the courtroom, Brooks
Did he
has an
just
outburst
laugh?
as he didn't like how the district attorney pronounced the word defendant.
I would like to provide the defendant and the court.
Why did she say it like that?
The defendant. I got one ear that worked and I heard that.
I actually agree with him. Why does she gotta say it like that? The defendant. The guy's fighting for his life. He's about to get 25 to life. Of course, any little thing would spark him to go crazy.
No, it's not. Ain't none of this to benefit me.
And now, Brooks is clearly frustrated. He decides to have a stare down with the judge.
I need to take a break. This man right now is having a stare down with me. It's very disrespectful. He pounded his fist. Frankly, it makes me scared.
Why are you having a stare off with the judge? Do you think intimidating her would make her want to make you have a lesser sentence? You ran over 68 people. Of course, she's not going to be on your side. You're a violent person to her in her eyes.
Jury quickly found Brooks guilty of all 76 charges against him, and he was given 6 life sentences, plus more than 700 additional years in prison.
I just want to let you guys all know, if you do some dumb stuff, do not represent yourself when your life is on the line, or you're going to be like this guy.
This is Franklin Williams, who is convicted of multiple felonies, including armed robberies and fleeing police in Cleveland, Ohio.
Again, I'm gonna interrupt. Mr. Williams, listen to me. I'm gonna gag you in 1 second.
Williams conducted
He's gonna
3
gag him?
armed robberies
No
before
diddy,
leading
bruh.
police on a high-speed chase. He was later arrested and convicted. Now, at his sentencing, Williams would not stop talking, despite more than a dozen warnings from the judge.
That means zip it right now. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. That's a violation of the HIPAA law, Judge.
Here we go.
How does he know what the HIPAA law is? This guy's out here doing robberies, talking about the HIPAA law. The only thing you need to know is don't steal a damn bank, bruh.
Resulted in the judge ordering Williams' mouth to be taped shut.
If you spit on, attempt to bite, or injure any of my deputies, you're gonna have a bad day.
Ain't no way.
That's what it is.
You're telling me this man got his mouth taped shut? What if he needed to pee?
At a following court appearance, Williams has something to share with the judge and cameras.
Freedom of speech, no duct tape, with the hashtag.
Aside from all the interruptions,
With the
judge
hashtag?
handed down Williams'
What are you
sentence.
talking about social media for?
Potential maximum consecutive sentence of 134 years. I ordered a 24-year sentence.
After Williams received a 24-year prison sentence, the judge later apologized for the duct tape and threw out.
Yeah,
that
because that
sentence.
was wrong.
He then appointed a new judge,
Look at her. She looks like a straight Karen. This one is gonna have no remorse.
where she sentenced him to 33 years behind bars.
33 years is crazy.
This is Randall Moore. He is facing 3 life sentences for crimes against his former wife, Therese Ann Lynch. Lynch had left her husband and filed a protective order against him. This resulted in Moore kidnapping and killing his estranged wife. Officer Todd
Damn.
responded to the cries from the apartment, where he was then shot and wounded.
Okay, 303.
He shot a cop too?
Suspects armed with 20 shells.
20 shells?
As he will shoot again.
Shortly after, Moore had a phone call with a 911 dispatcher. Listen as he explains his motives.
I didn't want to do any of this.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, all I wanted was my son. I just wanted to see my 7-month-old baby. That's all I cared about.
Not long after, Moore surrendered, and for Officer Rowland, he underwent surgery for his hand. As the verdict is read out, Moore gives nothing but a slight nod.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of kidnapping in the first degree. Guilty of sexual abuse in the first degree. Guilty of attempt to commit murder.
At Moore's sentencing, Lynch's mother gives a victim impact statement.
What you did to my daughter, Therese Ann Marie Lynch, was evil, hateful, and despicable. You are now dead and rotting and repulsive to me.
Read the journal she wrote. She hated you.
Thank you, Judge.
She hated you.
She hated you? Bruh, you unalived her. You can't be saying who liked her more, because it definitely wasn't you.
You're a loser.
Moore refused to apologize for his actions, saying he had no remorse for what happened.
And I'll tell you point blank, I have not 1 ounce of remorse for Therese Ann's death.
Oh
It
my.
could have all been prevented. All you had to do is let me see my kid. Now you're never going to see her again.
That's very... Now you're never gonna see her ever again? All because you wanted to see her kid? If this isn't insanity, I really don't know what is.
Now comes the judge.
If anybody didn't know what a piece of work you were before you start talking, they know it now.
That's
The court
true.
doesn't allow me to punish you any more than I'm doing now. If I could, I would.
The judge talking about he wants to whoop his ass. That judge looks like he's 67 years old. Who you gonna whoop?
Moore was given a total of 3 life sentences plus 25 years for the attempted murder.
He did all that because he wanted to see his son. Smarten up.
This is Candis Cook, who was found guilty of carjacking charges in Volusia County, Florida. 18-year-old Cook and her then 17-year-old boyfriend had used a dating app to set up a carjacking, where the boyfriend reportedly shot the victim, leaving him seriously injured. After fleeing the
Gosh,
scene and being
you're
on the
setting
run,
up people?
the pair attempted another carjacking just 2 days later, but they were arrested. Now in court, Cook stands in front of the judge for her involvement in the theft and shooting.
You guilty of all 3 charges, sentence you to 20 years in state prison.
Damn. What's she turning
That is
around
Cook's
for?
mother that can be heard crying.
Oh, her mom? That is shameful.
Reportedly, the reason for this very emotional outburst is there was a miscommunication with the assistant public defender, where Cook and her mother thought she wouldn't face any prison time.
Girl, you might have had the dumbest defense team I've ever heard known to man. You robbed 2 people and you shot one and you thought you were gonna get away with it? This girl is just dumb, straight up.
This is Ronnie O'Neal. He is a double murder suspect in Riverview, Florida.
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, goddamn it, I'm not.
This guy's pacing up and down the courtroom. Who are you trying to persuade? Bro, look at you.
29 when he fatally shot his then girlfriend Kenyatta Barron. Following this, he murdered their own daughter by striking her multiple times with a hatchet. She was only 9 years old. O'Neal also stabbed their 8-year-old son before pouring gasoline all over the house and setting it on fire. O'Neal was arrested upon—
This dude might be the worst of all of them. Try to unalive your whole family and then you burn down the house with them in it?
The burning house. The son was able to escape but was critically wounded and suffered from burns. The first 911 call on the incident was from the girlfriend who was heard screaming before suddenly hanging up.
Oh no.
8 minutes later, another call came in from O'Neal.
Does this guy look like Russell Westbrook? This crazy ass looking Russell Westbrook boy.
What is your emergency? Hey, I just been attacked by some white demons. Inside Kiki. Kiki, her name is Kiki, and she tried to kill me.
I see what you did there. You tried to pin it on her by saying she got possessed by some demon. If you can't trick me, how you gonna trick the police into believing that?
After the arrest, O'Neal was psychologically cleared to represent himself in court. During the trial, he cross-examined his now 11-year-old son, who he stabbed, to which the son explained everything that happened.
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
It ain't good to see you. You stabbed him.
You that night of this incident?
Yes.
I did. And how did I hurt you?
You stabbed me.
His son, who he stabbed, on record said that you stabbed me as a witness. We need to stop letting these guys represent themselves because clearly they do not know what they're doing.
Accused the prosecution of fabricating evidence.
Because he's playing a fraudulent damn recording of me beating Kenyatta Barron.
I'm kind of scared. Huh?
After O'Neal—
Why are you dry snitching? If you're gonna represent yourself, I'm assuming it's because you think you have the best odds of making yourself seem innocent. This man just said I killed her live in the courtroom.
Found guilty. At his sentencing, the judge went on to say this was the worst case she's ever seen.
This is the worst case ever.
I agree.
In my life, and I have seen some horrors.
He also stated that he was not sorry for what he did.
I am not sorry for something I didn't do, and I am not sorry for the things I did do.
Why are you saying that now after you were already sentenced? Get a lawyer. It ain't that hard. They offer them for free.
O'Neal was given a total of 3 life sentences plus 90 years without parole. And for O'Neal's son, he was adopted by the detective who cared for him the night of the murders.
At least the kid had a somewhat happy ending, kinda.
This is Esteban Carpio. The police were questioning him for the stabbing of an 85-year-old woman in Rhode Island. In the interview room,
85?
and 2 detectives.
Well, what does an 85-year-old woman do to you? The worst thing she can tell you is get out of my face. She probably could barely walk.
Detectives left the room to get water for Carpio, leaving just him and Detective Sergeant James Allen in the room. Carpio grabbed Allen's gun and then shot him twice, killing him. He then jumped out of a window which was 3 stories high and made a run for it.
This man committed near suicide to try to do a getaway escape. You're telling me he made that dive and he survived and he tried to get away.
Ended just 45 minutes later. At his arraignment, Carpio came in wearing a mask designed to stop the offender from spitting and biting at others.
Gosh!
With also his face being in rough shape, it stunned the courtroom.
Like, damn, that I really can't look. It's that bad.
It wasn't so much Carpio with the shocking reaction, more so his family members, making accusations of police.
I feel bad for her mom. I really do. I feel bad for his mom. Oh, and they're kicking her out too. Oh, man.
mentality. He was mentally ill, and he needed help, and we couldn't get it. We tried and tried, and he didn't deserve this.
An FBI investigation concluded that the police did not use excessive force and that Carpio's injuries were sustained due to his jump from the 3rd floor of a building and struggle with law enforcement.
The fact he even jumped from a 3rd-story building, he got some balls. He earned my respect for that. But also, you're stupid.
I faced the facts of what I did and what happened.
He was sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Like and subscribe.